Hello there. Welcome to Matters Arising, a live and phone-in program that focuses on trending national events and issues, as well as those unfolding in other parts of the world. Happy Democracy Day. Your viewership and participation is very important to us. This is why our telephone lines are open for you to call in and be a part of the program. The phone number is displayed on our screen. My name is Elizabeth Sam-Sedi. Once again, Happy Democracy Day, Nigeria.
I am Okechukwu. Good to have you on the program.
And I'm Evelyn Epelle. Happy Democracy Day.
Happy Democracy Day, Nigeria. My name is Maucauley, Hunohashi.
Happy Democracy Day to each and every one of you.
Happy Democracy Day.
Everyone is looking so bright today.
I know. I was looking out for the touch of green.
I'm sure we all had an eventful day today, even as we celebrated Democracy Day. Okay, for the day's news roundup, over to Sifon Umar.
This is the news roundup. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has announced that an executive bill on the agreed new national minimum wage will soon be sent to the National Assembly following recent negotiations between the federal government and organized labor. The president made this known during his June 12, 2024 Democracy Day address to the nation. Tinubu also called for united efforts to safeguard democracy and constant dialogue to resolve issues that affect the country's socio-economic well-being. He pledged to accelerate significant investments in critical sectors in order to stabilize the economy and ease the burden of Nigerians adversely affected by the country's economic reforms. Meanwhile, 5 June 12 protesters wearing Revolution Now jackets have been arrested at Maucauley roundabout in Ibadan. They were among the crowd of people who gathered to protest the biting economic hardship faced by Nigerians. They demanded an end to hardship in the country, while other demands included an end to insecurity, kidnapping, the reversal of the electricity tariff hike, and an end to attacks on press freedom. Some other cities across the country equally witnessed protests by Nigerians who are dissatisfied with the state of affairs in the nation. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State has secured the release of 110 inmates from the Kaduna Custodial Center as part of activities to mark the 2024 Democracy Day celebration. Governor Sani said that the gesture was part of efforts of his government to decongest the prisons and give a second chance to deserving inmates. He noted that the beneficiaries consist of 22 convicts pardoned under the prerogative of mercy powers conferred to him by Section 212 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, while the rest are those who have been convicted with options of fine ranging from 10,000 naira and above. The Lagos State University Teaching Hospital has said it is on red alert and ready to address possible outbreaks of cholera in the state. The management of the hospital spoke in response to the death of 5 persons and hospitalization of scores of others showing symptoms of the disease in Lagos. The hospital added that it has put healthcare workers on standby and other stakeholders on notice in readiness for a possible spread of the disease. That is all on the news roundup. I am Sifon Umar.
June 12th of every year is celebrated as Democracy Day in Nigeria to commemorate the restoration of democracy in 1999. The day is also a national holiday to mark the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election, widely believed to have been won by the late Chief MKO Abiola. Former President Muhammadu Buhari on 6th of June 2018 declared June 12 as Democracy Day. Until then, it was celebrated annually on May 29th, the day in 1999 when the last military ruler, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, handed over to a democratically elected president in the person of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. However, in the southwestern part of Nigeria, June 12 was widely celebrated as Abiola Day. The June 12 presidential election till date is seen as the freest and fairest election ever conducted in Nigeria history, even though it was annulled by the military junta of General Ibrahim Babangida for unspecified reasons, throwing the nation into an unprecedented civil crisis. The acclaimed winner of the election, Chief Abiola, declared himself president in Lagos in 1994. He was subsequently arrested by the military government of General Sani Abacha and died in prison in 1998. In the meantime, Nigeria has enjoyed 25 years of uninterrupted and stable democracy. And tonight, on Matters Arising, probe into the minds of Nigerian people. We'll bring to the forefront how Nigerians feel about the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This Democracy Day speech this morning, and that's President Tinubu's democracy speech this morning, and of course, the present state of things in the nation, and events leading up to this moment in the polity. We can say we are proud, or rather, can we really say as Nigerians that we are proud of the past 5 administrations for this past 25 years? Are we doing politically well? How well are we doing politically? Let's take a listen to this.
We get used to some things, and of course we get to learn some new things, okay, which of course is what Nigeria is undergoing. It's not as if democracy has not gone well. It's not about minimum wage. Even this minimum wage we are talking about now, the moment it is increased, then what we are facing about prices of items now, we will multiply by 3. Then how many people are earning the wages? You understand? So what we should talk about is the component of economy that should be made available for Nigerians to move forward. If the price of fuel can drop a little bit, you will see that things will change immediately.
Over the years, there have been a clamor for the 35% affirmation for women, particularly across all government appointments. And we see that when I told you that policies and how they can be delayed, we see how the national anthem was delayed, but a good policy such as the 35% affirmation have been sitting down on the government table for how many years? Let's be very realistic. These are things that honestly speaking, I know that NGOs have been at the forefront and insisting that this has to take place. But beyond that, that's where I want to come in. But beyond that, even if 35% is given, sometimes we know that some of these positions would be given to favor some of their own political inclination, people in the same firm with them. But we don't want it to just be that women are just being included because we say they should be included.
That the system they are practicing is a neoliberal agenda that cannot push forward the betterment of anybody. What we need is to begin to transition from this system to an economic system that will nationalize the commanding height of the economy and place it under the sole management of the mass of the working class, democratic management of the working class. We need to nationalize the power sector. We need to nationalize all the commanding heights of the economy, including the banks. We need to nationalize them.
And if you are talking about maturity, if we are waiting for maturity, why are they carrying 20 hillocks and convoys and security with their girlfriends and everybody? Why don't they too wait for that maturity so that all of us will move that? What are the conditions of the mass of the working people last year? How much is pepper in the market? 10 pieces of yam now is going for 30,000 naira. You feel the brunt, I feel the brunt, but they don't feel the brunt because they don't even go to the market. They place calls or go to their farms that they have appropriated land for themselves and they bring this food. When I go to queue, I buy fuel, I pay transport. They bring fuel to them to their own house. So why will they feel the heat?
We want a country whereby when you have this flag with you, you have this symbol of authority. You will be respected wherever you appear. If you make the country work for everybody, nobody has to commit crime. I can boldly tell you that the president of America can walk on the street without being harassed. The president of France can do the same. I watched a video of the president of Russia. He did the same thing. He walked on the street without any security personnel with him, because he has prepared a better government for his people.
You've heard the opinion of Nigerians speaking out their minds as far as democracy for the past 25 years in Nigeria is concerned. The presidential speech did not talk about governance or his administration. His focus was strictly on democracy. He made a list across the board on pro-democracy gladiators, acknowledging MKO Abiola, his wife Kudirat Abiola, and a host of others. He said beyond elections, democracy is a way of life, and that true democracy shines its light in the life of citizens. But I ask, have we seen any signs? Is there a, is there a reflection on us as far as Nigeria is concerned? This past 25 years of, as in gentlemen in the studio and lady, or rather lady and gentlemen, I would like us to give our thoughts on this. For the past 25 years, what's your thought? Do you think this light of democracy has been shining so brightly in the lives of Nigerians? We just heard Nigerians spoke their minds and shared their views through the Vox Pop that we just played. And for our viewers, please remember our phone lines are on the screen. Don't forget to call and make it conversational. Call the numbers on the screen and share your thoughts, share your views with us. So please.
I think we have every reason to celebrate 25 years of nationhood, of togetherness. Because if we're going to look at it within, contextually, Nigeria has come a long way. We have had military interregnums, from independence up to 2019. But after that, General Abubakar was even said to have been penciled down for retirement after the demise of General Abacha. Providentially, he became the head of state, and he decided to midwife this current democratic dispensation that we are enjoying. One thing I must say is that 25 years onward, the only reason why I feel we have reason, very, very strong reason to celebrate this journey is the fact that we have remained indivisible, we have remained together, because there are agitations.
We have a caller. Hello. Hello, good evening, welcome. Okay, no, I hope we're not going to have network issues. Yes,
I think the network is epileptic. The fact that we have remained indivisible, like I was saying, and together is something very huge that calls for celebration, because there are agitations. Nigerians are very, very, the greater percentage of Nigerians are despondent, and they are vehement about policies of government. They are interrogating the leadership recruitment process of this country, from 2019 to date. Because if you take a cursory look at how our leaders emerge, you begin to have some worries about the kind of democracy we practice in Nigeria. We have fashioned our own democratic structure and culture after the American system. America has spent about 248 years, and we're just 25 years. But you can see how unserious our leaders are, how insensitive our leaders are, how unattached to the cause of the common man our leaders are. So when you listen to, or when you take a look at what the charade that went on today as celebration, I don't think there's any reason for any parade. The parade, Eagle Sky was agog today with celebrations to celebrate our democratic journey.
Yeah.
So if you say you want to celebrate democracy, you should be celebrating expectations of good governance. Where are the expectations of good governance? Military provided expectations of good governance. They were not democratic elected. So if you judge, if you use the yardstick of what is commonly known in Nigeria as dividends of good governance, then you can score this government very, very, very abysmally. When ministers were reeling out their success story, when they were giving out their scorecards to the entire country about 3 weeks ago, I think to my mind only 3 ministers stood out, really, out of 47. you can give kudos to the Minister of Interior for those who travel a lot. He brought a revolution with regards to the our international passport is being respected now against the backdrop against what used to obtain. And the minister, even though that one is shrouded in so much crisis, David Umahi, the Minister of Works, they have a legacy project, a project they call Legacy Project, that of the coastal highway from Lagos to Calabar, even though, like I said, it's shrouded in a lot of controversy. That one is very, very, very laudable if that project is going to be completed. And the third one, which actually tops my list of ministers, is former Governor of River State, Nelson Wike.
I was waiting for
FCT.
it. Yeah.
You can see.
I was waiting for it.
There is a strong departure from the cluelessness and zero performance and abysmal performance of the 8 years of the former minister under President Muhammadu Buhari. But out of 47 ministers, if you can only talk about 3 that have performed creditably well, I think this.
All right. So who else agrees? Who else agrees with him?
I don't want to talk about whether I agree or not, but I want to say something else. Because you asked that there is celebration in the land, whether we are happy about that. I want to say something else. Many years back, someone that is of blessed memory now, someone that is late, played a song. I will mention his name. His name is Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Fela Kuti released a song, and in that song he said it was captioned.
Just hold your thoughts. Just hold your thoughts. We have a caller. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Matters Horizon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good evening. This is Mr. Sunday. I'm calling from Agatu, Benue State.
You are welcome, Mr. Sunday. Please share your view with us.
Yes, my view is that we should try everything possible that this our economy will progress, because what I'm seeing in this matter is just that God should help us. Yes. So with the support of everybody, at least we are one Nigerian. So I would like us to work together to improve our economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. So I was talking about the song Suffering and Smiling. That was many years back. Many years back. I must tell you that then we weren't
So
suffering.
are you insinuating Nigerians are suffering and smiling?
Just a minute. At the time that song was released, if you look at what was happening then and what's happening now, you will come to a conclusion that Nigerians weren't even suffering then. They weren't even suffering then. Now is the time that Nigerians are suffering. You know, again, at a stage, Nigerians were called the happiest people in the world.
Right.
That's right.
It's not because of the fact that we had everything in this country, but it's because of the fact that our people, the resilience you find in Nigerians.
Okay, I'm going to hold it on again.
Okay, let's take it again.
Oh, it's gone. We lost the call.
The good
Please
heart.
try calling back. Okay.
The good heart of Nigerians. The way Nigerians believe, never say die, never say never. They would always hold on to the fact there would always be hope. That was why when former President Obasanjo came and talked about hope. Yes, because all the while what we've been living on had been faith and hope. We had love, but at a stage, a lot of things happening in the country today, you know, all these negative things have started taking away the love that we had. But there is still hope and there is still faith. That's why we're here.
The hope has even been renewed.
Yes, and that's why the current administration administration came up with renewed hope. I still say, okay, let's keep having it. But may I tell you, there is good reason to celebrate, no matter what. I say that as long as there is life, there is hope. I remember a song released by a reggae artist many years back. I'll sing a bit of it. It says, forever, forever, as long as there is life, there'll be love, sweet love, to keep us together. Now, this song is also what we're saying here. As long as there is life, there is hope, good hope, to keep us together, renewed hope to keep us together in this country as one. Not minding what is going on, you know, that is not okay. If not for the strength, the tenacity, the faith, the zeal that you find inside the hearts of Nigerians, there wouldn't have been anything called Nigeria up to now. Other countries that had broken down, broken into different nations, have not gone halfway what we have gone, and we're still here. So I still know there is reason for us to rejoice. For the fact that God has given us life, that God has brought us together, not minding where we come from, whether north, south, east, or west, we are still together as one.
Absolutely.
No matter the negative things that we've been saying, we still know that the best of human beings could be found in this country called Nigeria. So for that reason, we'll still rejoice, we'll still celebrate, we'll still thank God, and we'll keep hoping for something better.
Okay, so...
Well, thank you so much for that.
Right.
I think that I want to also concern myself with the context setting, right, which is, what is democracy? To begin with, and I pondered about that even on my way here and before the program started, which is democracy as...
Just a minute, let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Matters Arising on KAFTAN TV. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Happy to join you today.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Nikki Atta. I'm from Kogi State. Good evening.
You're welcome. Please.
Happy Democracy Day.
Same to you. Happy Democracy Day to you. Please share your view.
Okay. Well, I really want to input on Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu's address on Democracy Day 2024.
Yeah.
And some of the things I noticed in his speech. Well, in the first place, Democracy Day actually was just like a national public holiday to commemorate the restoration of democracy in Nigeria since 1999.
Right.
Which has historically been on May 29th. So some wonder what comes on June 12th, you know? But the shift is actually, to recognize the historical importance and significance of June 12, 1993.
That's right.
Nigeria's political journey. So essentially, I think maybe May 29 will soon just be the day of counting down of administration. And then June 12, since it has been proclaimed now as a public holiday, will be taken as the National Democracy Day.
Yes.
And the president himself significantly said that Chief Moshood Abiola is Nigeria's most significant symbol of democracy and struggle for democracy.
Right.
Well, one thing I really liked was that he praised journalists. As media people, I was very happy. For the first, they always talk about, maybe MKO and other people who struggled. Never mentioned journalists whose role was really outstanding.
He mentioned, yes.
He said, how some media houses were proscribed, editors jailed. He really showed encouragement.
He did.
That was really nice.
Yes.
Then again, he told us that he's facing economic democracy. Oh, that was a great one for me because that's just part of it, for goodness sake. So far, the democracy has been such that Nigerians haven't had a real better outlook economically. And this is just part of the socio-economic dynamic that Nigerians really need.
Yes.
Thirdly, I'm so glad he addressed minimum wage. We've had it in the past that a very big national issue will be on ground. The president will come up to address the nation and won't even mention it. This one, he didn't shy away from it.
Thank you.
He tackled it head on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
That was very nice.
Yes.
And, I was really going to say that I want to concern myself with the context setting. What is democracy? The very easy way to respond to that question, we hear this all the time, a system of governance that's for the people, by the people. And then as intelligent Nigerians, we can start asking basic questions like, the democracy that we have today in Nigeria, is it for the people? And is it by the people?
Is it also
when you say that
people?
Democracy is for the people, what that means is that the system of governance and the government responds directly to the needs of the people.
Right.
And when you say that it's by the people, it means that the people have a sense of responsibility that those in government and the system of governance is by their endorsement. So we can critique the feelings and the opinions of people as to whether or not they feel that those in government and the system of governance that we're running today responds directly to the needs of people. Very recently, I wrote a thought piece on deliberative democracy, which is, activating citizens' participation in governance, where citizens directly participate in their governance. And when was the last time that we really had the opinions of citizens being aggregated as part of, a government? Personally, I don't feel included in terms of my opinion. A lot of things have been going on in the country, and I don't know the extent to which we can say that this is a democracy. I think that the discontent that we're all describing really arises from, we're practicing, the government asserts itself as a democracy, whereas the people do not feel the dividends of democracy.
Thank you. We are due for a break now.
Yes.
Please stay tuned that we'll go on a very short break. We'll be right back. TV and Matters Arising. We are live, reaching you from our Federal Capital Territory studio, Abuja. There's been a lot of clamor for the Constitution. A lot of people believe that some of the challenges we're having today has to do with the Constitution, Nigerian Constitution. And others believe that we need restructuring. And when you talk restructuring, the word restructuring means different things to different people. A lot of people frown a lot when you mention restructuring. A lot of people frown at the word restructuring. I like each and every one of you to give me your opinion on what restructuring means to you as far as Nigeria is concerned. And if you agree, that Nigeria needs to work on her constitution, either to amend or rewrite. Your opinions?
I would say that I agree with restructuring, because I know that change is a continuous process and change is imminent anyway. And change is a constant. I'm not the same person that I was last year. And in order to be the person I am today, I've had to make certain changes, in order to achieve the things that I'm, and I want to believe that if I want to ascend to another level of self, I also need to make a new set of arrangements to get me there. So I completely agree and align with the need to restructure. However, I want to see and gauge the way that our words match our actions in a country like Nigeria. On the road to the 2023 general elections, there were a couple of issues that caused all of us to look at our judicial system and at the courts. And I still remember listening to news stories about how different courts were bringing different judgments here and there. And so now I'm panicking, because I feel like whether or not we amend the Constitution, are we going to get the results that a constitutional amendment is supposed to bring, or the intended results? I think I want to focus more on the restructuring of the Nigerian conscience and the restructuring of the Nigerian mindset.
Okay, for you, do you consider restructuring the Constitution amendment? Do you consider them same, or you think?
Say that again? The constitutional?
Yes, for the amendments. All right. Do you consider restructuring the amendment of the Constitution?
Yes, amending the Constitution is a form of restructuring that needs to take place. But what I'm saying is that restructuring or amending, all these big words that we use oftentimes, clouds, the realities on the ground. So I'm saying, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to put down the Constitution, but these are words that we put down on paper. I'm saying, what about our actions? And not just our actions, but the patterns of our actions over a period of time. Because if we restructure the Constitution, or amend the Constitution and restructure the country, and we set that restructured or amended Constitution aside and keep being the people that we are, we're not going to see any change. So that's why I'm saying that I would rather want to call for a restructuring or an amending of the Nigerian conscience and the mindset of the Nigeria as a populace. Like, we need that mindset shift. I think that if there's anything I want to, clamor for, it would be that more and more Nigerians need a mindset shift that would get us to where we need to be. And not, I'm going to support the constitutional amendments if so be it, but
I think please.
To add on what she was saying, I think we need to change the mindset of Nigerians, because when you take a look at people who are agitating for change of pattern of our democracy, we are now running a presidential system of government. People blame it. They say it's the cost of running that system is very, very high.
Yes, it is.
So some are agitating for us to go back to regional systems. Some are asking us to go back to parliamentary. I think I agree with her. Is the conscience? It's not the system that is the problem. It is the operators of the system.
Right.
So long as you don't change the conscience of Nigeria, they are thinking, the mindset of Nigerians, whatever system you bring is going to be the same thing. And let me tell you, Nigeria has been structurally faulty ab initio. Because you can't tell me, I come from Adamawa State and we have only 21 local governments. Kano State has 44 local governments. Bayelsa has about 8 local governments. So if you bring any bill that is inimical to the interest of people that come from Kano or that zone, they will filibuster it because it will not scale. That is the reality. That is one of the biggest challenge for our move for restructuring. If you bring anything that is not, they are not interested, like open grazing, for instance, the senators that have been kicking vehemently, with vehemence against the open grazing bill are from the north. I'm from the north, and they are from the north. And they constitute the majority in both houses, particularly in the House of Reps. If the bill goes to the House of Reps, by the time Kano, Jigawa, and the rest raise their hands, they will subsume 5 states from elsewhere put together. That is my view.
Okay.
Well, for me, whenever there is election, whenever you have electioneering campaigns, especially the last one that we just had, all of the presidential candidates from all the parties promised Nigerians that there will be restructuring.
That's right.
But to see it happen,
it's a nice word.
It's another thing altogether.
Right.
So we need to find out what is it that they have in mind when they say we will restructure Nigeria. I know that there is political restructuring. I think there should also be mental restructuring.
Yeah.
Why I said so is that you just talked about the mindset of Nigerians. So many things need to be put in order before we succeed in getting to have any form of restructuring in this country.
Back a little bit. I think I'm interested a little bit in that political restructuring.
Okay.
Yes, let's look at that a little bit. What do you think is what change do we need in that aspect?
So many things need to be changed. Let me present this. We need equality in Nigeria. Some people in this country, or many tribes in this country, have been complaining of marginalization. Some people from the north have been talking about marginalization. Some people from the south have been talking about marginalization.
Absolutely.
Some people from the south have been talking about marginalization. Even some in the west have been talking about marginalization. It's a political structure we're talking about. So by the time you look at this, first of all, what is marginalization? Generally speaking, if we were to look at it, let's be honest with ourselves and see what each person presents to find out whether there is, use the word, any reason for which that should be done. I'll give you an example. The southeast in Nigeria has for so long been talking about marginalization. And let me tell you why. That in this country that is called Nigeria, there are 6 geopolitical zones. Southeast happens to be the only geopolitical zone that has 5 states in it. The others have 6 and 1 has 7 in the north. Yet we're in the same country called Nigeria. If you say anything, they will tell you it's because of the number. It's not because of the number. It's because of the decision taken, political decision taken to help a sector of the country more than the others. This is marginalization. But people will not agree with it. For how long have they been asking, let's have another state in the southeast so that we will be able to say, okay, it's at par now, but even at that, it won't even be at par. Because if we have 1, it will become 6 everywhere. There will still be 1 that the north, is it the northeast?
What is
has. Okay. So that's part of it. Now you find out too that not too long ago.
You hold that thought, so I'm just hold it there so that we are due for a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, you continue from where you started. So stay tuned. Our viewers don't move an inch. We'll be back very shortly.
When we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world, we're not just bragging. We know our onions in the world of broadcasting. One of our outlets to express ourselves to the world is our flagship program, Matters Arising. Join veteran broadcaster Ruben Okala and our crack team live.
And they give us a high price, and we just say, Nigeria, we ready.
As I said earlier, the lyrics is up, talking about the old new national.
On KAFTAN TV, Startimes channel 480 and 124, as well as large concert frequency 12518, symbol rate 29500, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. live. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 0802-993-8365. It's dramatic.
You're welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. The program is Matters Arising. Thank you for being there. Please be a part of this program and make it conversational. Call the phone lines on your screen and share your views with us. Please continue with
yes. We also find out that in the South, we have had it for so long that they are the ones getting all that we need. That is what is making the economy, the oil that is making Nigeria's economy tick, and but they are not being taken care of. If you look into what they are saying, they are correct, because if you go there, the worst situation in life is what you see there. Yet, that's the place from where you... Sometimes it's difficult for them to get good water, quality water to drink.
How can insecurity end?
Now, how can insecurity end? Then you come to the north. Many of them in some areas will say that there is not enough education given to them. Some are struggling for it. Apart from the fact that some people are doing Boko Haram thing. Apart from that, many of them are saying, the majority of them are not educated. And they want education. And they ask for it. And they are not getting it. Do you know that the Fulani is also complaining of marginalization? Because they say that you're disturbing their cattle. And of course, I've been told that for them, the cattle is precious. Even like the life of a human being, that's where they take their cattle. That if you touch that, you have touched them. That is their own form of marginalization they're asking.
All right, very quickly, I would like us to touch, you mentioned insecurity. For the past into democracy.
Yes.
25 years. Do you think the government have been doing enough as far as
I must quickly say that the government, all the governments since all this matter of insecurity has started, they are all doing something. But the fact is that all that they are doing is not good enough yet. But they are doing a whole lot, especially having these the military and all that, the heads of all these service chiefs trying to make sure that things get better everywhere. They are trying. It's not easy. Life is not what you play with anyhow.
Right.
But the truth is a lot more still need to be done.
And these are the dividends of democracy that I was referring to in the beginning, right? To what extent do Nigerians feel safe?
Just hold that thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Matters Arising. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Hello, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think, please try reaching us back if you can.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that, the discontent that we can see and all of these stresses and strains that manifest today in our polity comes from a simple fact. We are running a system, when you were doing the citation earlier, you said uninterrupted and stable democracy.
Right.
I agree wholly with the uninterrupted part, and I think all glory should really go to God. We're a very religious nation. The glory should go to God that democracy has been uninterrupted for the last 25 years in Nigeria. But when we look at the stresses and strains that have shown up, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, I don't think I agree with the word stable. I think that our democracy has been going like this, like this, like this.
Swimming, right?
Yes, and the reason is, and we have to be honest about these things, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. If we don't acknowledge these things, then we cannot start to change.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Welcome to Matters Arising. Hello, are you there?
Oh, we lost that again. And you know, I was saying that these stresses and strains is very basic. We are in a system of governance that poses as a democracy, but does not deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. And the dividends of democracy manifest in the extent to which people feel safe, the extent to which people feel included, just like what he's speaking about. You know, so let's start speaking more to that aspect of our polity where more and more citizens want to feel carried along, more and more people. I don't want to wake up in the morning. Let's even use something like the new Naira incident, for example. Earlier today, I was at the supermarket and I was thinking about it. I was like, how come nobody is feeling some type of way that, you know, we're all walking around with different colors of notes? It really shows our confusion, to be honest. But I really hope that, you know, this renewed hope.
Let's try taking this call once again. Hello, welcome to Matters Arising.
We keep losing them.
Yeah, network.
And I really want to go back to this issue of speaking to our conscience. Speaking of our educational system, I want to see more of our, we have a lot of PhDs, people who tell us they are doctor this, doctor that. Where are they? They need to come to this is the time we need them. We need to come to the fore. I want to see more psychologists because quite honestly, we've been talking about the political issues and all of that. I think that at a psychological
let's
level,
try this out.
we need a lot of help.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Matters Arising. Are you there?
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you reaching us from?
My name is Israel Dena, calling from Warri.
Okay, you're welcome. Your thoughts very quickly.
I just want to comment on the Democracy Day issue.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, democracy, the way it ought to be, it's not what we are having in Nigeria. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And I keep repeating it, they don't care about the people. That is what is even one major problem we're having in this country. They don't have programs for the people. And that's not democracy. Not until they do the right thing. Things will not be well, you know. Not until they begin to think about the people. They don't have concern for the people.
Thank you.
I am from an oil producing community.
Okay.
Look at what is happening in our villages. Nothing is there, but they are collecting oil every time. Look at the appointment. Shekiri, we've not been given any appointment at any time since 25 years now.
Please round it up. Round it up very quickly.
Is it proper? It's not proper. They should try to do something about this.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
I think Elizabeth, to build on what she was saying, insecurity has really eaten deep into our basic fabric, and it is predicated.
Arising. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, this is Matters Arising. Welcome. What's your name and where are you reaching us from?
I'm Thomas. I'm calling from Nassau State.
Okay, Thomas, quickly. Let's hear your thoughts very quickly. 30 seconds, please.
All right, I want to thank God for this democracy day, but my thought is that the government should concentrate on the economic, and then also to balance the nation, we have to do zoning, and also when everything is done, everybody is carried along. The nation, everybody will be happy. The government most of the time is one-sided, and that is what is bringing issue.
Thank you.
Zoning down to the council ward, and then the local government autonomy should be passed so that things will be happening at the local level.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're winding down, and quickly,
yes, like I was saying, I say insecurity has eaten deep into our basic fabric as a society, and it is predicated on many basic things, such as lack of sincerity, lack of political will, nepotism in appointments of the leadership of the security agencies, and corruption.
Yeah.
We are living in a country where you see people aspire and they bribe their way to become major generals, and the next day you see them living in affluence. We have seen generals who have retired as billionaires.
Okay, all right. There's one more matter I want us to touch on. Now the calls are coming in.
Go ahead.
Hello, Matters Arising. Good evening. Okay, we lost it.
They have retired as billionaires and they cannot account for
right,
funds.
Absolutely. Quickly, as we round up, I want us to talk about, we heard the president this morning on his speech, even as he said something about the labor union. That very soon they are going to send their offer to the national, to the National Assembly for approval. And just this evening, the Labour Congress came out and said that they had not reached an agreement on the living wage for Nigerians with the government. So quickly,
I don't have yardstick to measure his sincerity, but my hope is that he's not one of those rhetorics that we are used to hear.
Okay.
For me, I'm not excited because, like I said, if we're still working with these same Nigerian conscience, then I would expect even more stresses and strains.
Hello, Matters are Rising. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Hello. Okay.
I can expect even more stresses and strains because, watch this, the minute our minimum wage jumps up, the prices of goods and services will jump as well. So I'm not excited about this minimum wage jumping thing because I know exactly how, the behavioral pattern of Nigerians, which is why I said the structural reforms that really needs to be done is the reform of our minds and the fabric of society. That's where the change needs to happen. And I know this even more because on Children's Day, I was at my alma mater to speak to young kids about leadership and governance. And one of the things I was saying to them was, think about a very little way.
Just a minute.
You can...
Hello, Matters are Rising. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm calling from Kogi.
Okay, please do me a favor by turning down the volume of your TV set. And what's your name? Where are you reaching us from?
Another call is coming in.
Hello, Matters are Rising. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay. What's your name and where are you reaching us from?
The TV is
Yeah, my name is Udoka. I'm reaching from Badagry.
Mr. Udoka, can you please turn down the volume of your TV set as we hear your view?
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Matters are rising. Democracy has not fetched us a good thing since I know. Because in 1985, according to the analysis, dollar was $1 per $1. So, and since then, since when this thing have handed over to democracy, they have never fetched a very good thing to us. All the streets in the road, none of them have done. Water, food, electricity, none of those things have been done. Then, coming to the minimum wage, our governors, our leaders, they are owing the masses. All the workers, they are owing them. Even this salary is 30,000 that they cannot be able to pay 30,000 minimum wage. So how are we sure that they will even pay 100,000
Thank you so much.
there.
Thank you for your thoughts.
Thank
You know,
Okay.
I had a little kid in the background.
Right.
I try to concern myself with the younger ones because they are malleable. And that's where we can start to frame their character. I was talking about Children's Day and speaking to young kids on Children's Day. And I was telling them about one way they can contribute to the Nigerian society is taking it upon themselves to do something that's different from what we adults are doing.
Right.
And I said to them, who wants to volunteer to stop littering the school and you promise us that you're not going to litter anymore?
Okay.
You had a 13-year-old kid get up and say, oh, auntie, we are Nigerians. That's how we are.
Thank you.
That mindset needs to shift.
Okay. Thank you so very much. This is how big our show package can go tonight on Matters Arising. We thank you, our esteemed viewers and our vibrant callers. Thank you for as many of you that were able to call, and for those that were trying to reach out and couldn't reach out to us because of network, we apologize. We hope that the networks will be better next time. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team, it's from all of us here in the studio. My name is Elizabeth Sam-Sedi. I'm saying good night and see you next time.
Happy Democracy Day.
Here saying good night.
Evelyn Dan Epelle, Happy Democracy Day.
My name is Maucauley Hunohashi. Thanks for being there with us. Bye-bye.
Okay, and as we say on KAFTAN TV,
Imagine
a beautiful world. Good night.